Hello there, and welcome to Get Good. And it is another of our awards ceremonies. Manus, a month has passed. Where did the month go? I don't know. But you are fresh off judging. Are you ready?
I am amped.
Amped. I like this.
Yes. 3 Red Bull down and off of judging, and I had a great time with James. Couldn't be a better day. Sun is shining. Well, it's not even shining. It's rainy, so it's even better.
It's just that miniatures have lifted your spirits.
Yes, they always do.
That's why we paint at the end of the day. Well, you alluded to it there. So in terms of, I guess context for people watching, if this is your first time watching this, is on our Discord, on our community Discord, we run monthly challenges. And the first time round, it was Orcathon 2024. And then the community voted for Chaos for the second challenge. And we had as our lead judge, James Southernwood, who won the Orcathon. And so that's kind of kickstarted a tradition of maybe the winners need to start judging. And so you've been sat in I presume, a dark Skype call or Teams call, Discord call with James. And you've reviewed all these wonderful models. Shouts out to James. He is James_Southernwood on Instagram. I will put that link at the bottom. He is a good egg, is James, is what I would say. I guess before we dive into the entries, Manus, and we'll do this the same format. We'll go through everything and then we'll do our bronze, silver, gold. Do you have any kind of general thoughts about the entries, what everyone submitted, anything like that?
I do. The level was really high. I am amazed that people managed to do what they did within a month. These are all community pieces, of course, and people in the community have families and jobs. Doing these things in a month is even crazier. So looking at it and thinking, wow, this is a really fantastic piece. And then with the caveat, well, it was done in a month. It is mind-blowing.
Yeah,
it is.
Absolutely. And I think what I would say is it becomes a constant source of inspiration for me. You see different takes on the same theme, and it really inspires you as to the breadth of ways of interpreting. Like, you think chaos, and I think, every person will have a different idea in their head about what ideal chaos is. For me, it's Nurgle. For other people, it's something completely different. And seeing that and appreciating that is really, really awesome to see.
I will say that actually Masroor said something that stuck with me. He said it really helps me get out of the whole paralysis of not doing anything really, and not finishing anything, and not putting paint on, because you only have that month. So you gotta kind of not just do, because you can put thought into, but you have to do something. And I really like that idea that people are pushing and they are trying new things and coming up with something that looks amazing.
Yeah. I think it's quite a powerful idea of just going to get this done. That's simple. It's only for a month, and we're pretty open on the community thing about, look, some pieces won't be finished, and that's okay. You can still have a very good entry that's not finished. And actually, it's been very interesting watching some people complete their entries from last month's challenge, and those are shaping up to be beautiful entries in future competitions in their own right. It's really quite exciting to see. Well, let's dive in then. And we're starting, as has kind of become tradition, with Tom, who has both months said, you know what, I'm not going to be painting a miniature for this. I'm going to be painting a bit of artwork, and got to this point with a drawing. I think both of us are kind of constantly in awe at Tom's ability to take a blank canvas and create something cool. What do you think?
I was wondering what the scale of this was, because it's pretty detailed actually, and I look at this one and I imagine 1,000 things. I can see some nice volumes. I can see a way of doing incredibly nice and shiny scales. The armor plating is amazing for doing non-metallics on. So, and I mean, you'd have to. Well, have to is a strong word, but it is 2D art, so you're probably going to. And this one, I honestly really hope that it will end up being a finished piece. I think it shows great potential, even though it isn't a mini.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna show my own bias here because I also want this to be completed, but I also probably more I want to see Tom's next mini. This is maybe I'm calling him out. This is this is I'm abusing my privilege and throwing the gauntlet because Tom is an absolutely fantastic miniature painter.
Yeah, he is.
And watching his progress on some of the things he's been working on, but not necessarily shared writ large on Instagram. I'm really looking forward to some of that stuff getting completed in the future.
Yeah, but I really like the idea of Tom basically saying, well, I spend a lot of time on 2D art and that's how I hone my skills and what I want to do, but I'll cast a tribute still. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have the chance, if you've connected with him on Instagram, get him to show you some of the pictures he was doing before Tutorship in his art, his painting, and then some of them afterwards. It's just stunning. It's just absolutely mad. Mm-hmm. Okay. Number 2 on the list, we have the one and only Rudy.
Yeah.
Tell us your thoughts, Magnus.
I really think this is a fantastic mini. There are so many things, and I could talk quite a lot about this this mini. I want to highlight some stuff. I think the spittle drool is such a great touch. I think the choice of color and the usage of color is on point. It is not easy balancing those colors, and there are greens and magentas and blues and some flesh colors and stuff. It's not that easy, but it has worked out really well. Nice attention to detail. I think it's a gorgeous piece, really do. And well, it's not that easy to see here, but if you zoom on pictures, you can see that the feather, for example, the eye on the feather has a slight bit of texture, even exactly like a peacock feather would have, stuff like that. So it is, the attention to detail is pretty good here. I really enjoy it, and it is something that is probably a bit far removed from what is in my wheelhouse, which means I actually appreciate it even more because it's something where it's very organic, it's very colorful. Something I probably personally should do more. I think it's hot. It basically has 2 faces, right? So it has 2 focal points.
Yes.
Being able to balance that,
balancing, all the detail on it is an absolute nightmare.
What do you think?
I mean, I just love this piece. I really do. I like the first time I saw it in terms of the update, which was just like it was just base coated in this like very dark purple, but saturated.
Yeah, purple and blue. Yeah. I remember.
And I was like, wow, where does this color selection come from? And then like watching it slowly fill in, I was like, this is just wonderful. Yeah. And then like the things, Rudy conquered stuff that would really freak me out. So for example, if people know this model, the parchment has sculpted text on, which is stupid. And he's removed it all so he could do beautiful freehand work and get that scrolling in. And I think even though there's not a lot of it, the NMM on this piece is just top drawer. It's really nice. It's weathered and beaten and battered. And I think it's a stunning piece.
You can tell it's metallics, but they are weathered in a way so that they ties in with everything. It's a gorgeous piece. It really is.
Fine work, Rudy. You legend.
Yeah.
And up next, Masroor's.
Yeah, this one is kind of a bit near and dear to me, actually, because Masroor is a newer painter, and we saw his Orc last challenge.
Yes.
And if you compare those two, it is just such a step up. We talked a bit about it, and one of the main takeaways here is that he's actually grasping some things that newer painters normally don't. There are strong lightings. The color choices are really, really good. They really fit together well. And even the base has a shadowed area and a more greenish area to tie it in with the scheme. So it has the greenish, and then the shadowed area has a bit of the purple in. It's actually a lovely piece. I know he was a bit pressed on time, and even then, it shows a real step up from the last one. I really enjoy this piece. I do.
Yeah,
it's great.
And rightly so. I mean, I've painted this many before. I really like it. Number one, it's one of the Death Shroud Terminators.
Yeah,
Nurgle, a lot of Nurgle. I'm already a big fan of this challenge. And I think you hit the nail on the head in terms of the fact that Masroor is a newer painter, yes, but compositionally, I took one glance at this and I was like, what an improvement.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the Orc, but here is someone who is thinking about the color application, color theory, the volumes in ways that I didn't even want to touch when I was starting off. And I really do, like, combined with the fact that I think he painted this in essentially like the last 48 hours of the competition.
Yeah, he had some work done, and then he was like, whoa, I better get moving if I want to put something in. And well, he put it in, so
he put it in. Yeah, and as you know, as he develops the things that like all new painters do, he's basically building on the best possible foundations. So I'm really excited to see where he goes next.
That's my takeaway too, because honestly, you can, and I'm a bit guilty of that, being very bogged down in details and being very neat and like focusing on a smooth blend instead of seeing a bigger picture. While both are important, I think having a strong foundation is pretty good, because you can then work on blends and brush control and all of those things that will come with practice, kind of basically automatically as you put more paint on models. But the whole idea of viewing volumes with light and colors and stuff like that, that is actually a bit harder, even for more seasoned painters. So yeah, very nice work.
Miriam.
Oh, such a cutie. Yeah, I really like this one, especially from the main view. This one is really, really nice. I will say it's a tiny model.
Absolutely, you do appreciate it in a picture of this quality, but it's the size of a penny, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, it is so small, and I think putting that green rim light on works incredibly well from this front angle, where you can barely see it, but it's there, and it's bleeding out a bit on the base too, so you get that environmental feel. It's a tiny canvas, and I think it is really nice to see bold color choices, and that rim light is gorgeous. Yeah,
and definitely, like, it's pushed me to like really try and concentrate and apply when I'm thinking about painting within small areas, because looking at the volumes on like the chest bit.
Mm-hmm.
There's really clearly defined, beautiful volumes there, and a piece, and like these are millimeters essentially.
Yeah.
So it's like you can do it. It's just a case of taking your time, applying the paint well, which I think is one of Miriam's particular strong points. Certainly, looking at this, and then one of her Legion Imperialis tanks that she's recently completed.
Holy moly! Yeah.
Just skill, just oozing out of her. And this is yes. This is a really wonderful piece, and excellent color choice. The rim light, it is gorgeous.
I think so.
That was me.
Yeah. Hey, it's you.
I painted something.
Yeah, you did. You really did. I think I have a few things on this one uh, that are incredibly good. So good that we decided maybe it is time for an actual feedback session, so you can refine the last couple of bits. So this can go to something proper. I know you did the scroll and you weren't too happy with it. It looked good the first go around, but you wanted everything to be more integrated.
Hmm.
So you redid it and fixed it. I really commend that, and I think it's one of the, because I know a bit of the history with the model, right? So it's one of the things I take away from it. I will say that the color shift in the wings is gorgeous, and I noticed something that I didn't see before doing judging was the slight texture on the skull on the top of the wings.
Hmm.
It is something very subtle and something that you probably wouldn't see unless you're really going in for a judging look. It has a tiny bit of texture on the scrolls too, soft texture. So I think that this one is really kind of like a masterpiece in attention to the detail, while still obviously keeping an overall look. I think that the choices in colors and how they uh, kind of like you've used almost like a limited palette to keep having the desaturated and saturated teals um, going throughout, even represented again in the verdigris. I think this is a great choice, and I really like the accent color of the boils. So I think, yeah, overall this is a fantastic piece, and yeah, you should push it further.
Yes, sir. I will.
How did you feel about it?
So it's. I mean,
You can
we've.
be honest because
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I think one of the things that I've maybe said to a few people is actually I didn't realize at the time, but I painted this model in a period of my life where I was particularly struggling with stuff outside of the hobby. And if you're not careful, you end up, it's a weird term, but like painting in a lot of those emotions into the model.
yeah,
And so when it's done, you're like, oh, I'm not seeing the model. I'm seeing how I was feeling at the time. And when I completed it, that's how I felt almost, because I was just I was checked
oh,
out.
I remember.
Oh yeah, no, you and I had a good old chat. Well, it wasn't a chat. I was a bit of a dick, and you had to be like, But when I look at it now with better eyes and a better headspace, I am really pleased with that. It did feel like a big leap up for me, certainly from like the previous models, like which was, so the previous model for me was the Sepsimus, and that's a model that I think we've both spoken about. I ended up actually quite disappointed by for a number of reasons, and so it became like a case of, I know I can improve on like general application. So like it's why picking, like the fact you picked up on the palette is a key thing for me, because it was like I want to stay in this bluey orangey complementary color scheme and not deviate too much from it. And that became really tricky to do, but really rewarding. And so now I look back at it with a healthier complexion. Actually, I'm really excited about improving it and maybe entering it into something. Is quite big for me. That's enough for me. Let's move on to other jobs. This is your hands.
This one I really like, because I will say this model really fits his style, because his style is a bit more scratchy and worn looking, and this model is fantastic for it. The non-metallics are, I mean, I understand that it's not completely finished, right? But from the areas that are, it looks incredibly nice. It's I'm almost sad. I think we said it the same last go around. We had a Model 2. If the total effort that was had been put into the bust area, basically like head, torso, maybe weapons, this would look almost finished, because you put so much effort already. this is a model that I hope gets to be finished. I know fully well that submitting something or putting it back in the cabinet or whatever it is can kind of doom a, I mean, to be locked in oblivion. I mean, yeah. Scott even has the grimoire or armor of shame, and I mean, I really just hope that this one actually gets to be finished, because I think the foundation and the first application of things to this one is gorgeous. It's a fantastic paint job. It suits the style perfectly. I think so.
Yeah. And from my perspective, because I'm completely in love with this this piece.
Yeah.
The first thing that I really just had to sit up and take notice of is the non-metallics. I know you've spoken about them, but we were talking about this on our NMM discussion earlier in the week. Like, the kind of beaten, slightly more weathered metals is something I personally really struggle with. And seeing them rendered like this, I was just like, it's so eye-catching. It's really a good show for what like chaotic metals can be. And then like my eye always starts on that the World Eater's knee pad thing of like that sphere in the mouth on the knee. And then my eye just travels up to that green halo around the face. I think the face is incredible.
Yes. It's one of the... You saw that he has a symbol on the top of his head, right?
Yes.
That is not sculpted in.
It's sick. It's so
good. It is sick. It is one of the things we talked about in judging, is getting this much expression into some... I mean, it's Terminator size, this one. Yes. So it's not a big model at all. It's incredible. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic start. And please finish it.
Finish it.
I won't even say send it to me, then I'll finish it, because I probably couldn't. I'm not painting in that style, which is why I'm fully in love with it. I really like that style. Yeah.
This looks like it could leap off the page from like official artwork.
Yeah, it does.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, excellent work, Johan. Really hope you finish it.
Yeah. Oh man. This one.
He's back. This Scott fella and his damn perfect paint jobs.
Yeah, man. I cannot believe that this is a gaming piece. It's just mind-blowing to me.
Outrageous is what it is.
Things to highlight on this one. While Scott always says, it's quite a simple blah, 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 blah. Those bases are just gorgeous. I mean, they might be simple for someone like Scott. I don't know, but they are just gorgeous and they fit so well. And having something like that makes it a complete model, right? Then I want to say, saturated reds like that look fantastic, nicely blended, and really eye-catchy. So yeah, and I will say, he went for like a chrome look on the flamer, right? It looks chrome. Yeah, it looks really chrome. So to imagine this as a gaming piece.
I mean, Scott's
if you don't already follow,
like
you
one of the
should
best
follow.
kill teams. Yes, yeah. Scott, obviously Instagram, all the Instagram links are on screen, but Scott just does like this continuation of the classic heavy metal style that is just gorgeous, and the Dreadnought he is currently working on.
Yeah, man.
Oh, it's so good.
He's working on a proper piece for competition, and he's stepping up his game, man.
Yeah. This is Scott's admitted tabletop standard.
It is, and that's what I'm saying. This is tabletop.
And now
he was kind enough to submit it
to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's lovely. It's a really lovely model. It really is. Yeah.
I mean, I know there's a meme that I hate Hazard Stripes as well, but Hazard Stripes on the base really pop, really nice.
Yeah,
like
they do.
That red yellow.
Yeah, they do.
Knight in Cantor.
Yeah, it's a great model too. What I noticed with this one is the story. Such a nice story. You can see that this is considered like an almost like almost like a classical painting where you're viewing it so much as a whole, right?
Yeah.
So the composition on this one is amazing. I really think so. And making TMM look good like that in a photo is not easy. I mean, it really isn't. He's went over it more than one time, and I don't think I fully grasp it yet. How he makes it look like that, because a lot can go wrong, is what I'm saying, when you try to photograph uh, TMM, and yeah, it looks really good, really good. Nice lighting, nice composition, striking TMM. I mean, what's not to like? Huh?
No, and it's not an AI backdrop.
Nope.
Get our drama out the way early. It's
Nope.
because that's as a framing device. I just love it. Like the starfall into this kind of dying embers of sunset, and then how that warm light is represented across the chest. This is someone that understands like the broad strokes of composition to a master's level. And it's just gorgeous to see it rendered like this. I feel that that's like a word I keep using in this, gorgeous, but this is just wonderful.
Yeah, I agree. This is, for me, basically the perfect way of using a backdrop. It's not overly complicated or anything. It is quite simple, but it has a really strong impact and a strong effect.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think we're at the winners.
Oh, no.
That's it. So we had 8 entries. 8 people casting their souls into the void to see how they do. It was and yeah, like we've already said, the quality of the entrance this month has been utterly spectacular. I'm going to ask you, Manus, again. We will, channel your inner judge. Any comments on the judging? Anything that kind of put this as the reason why?
I will say this one. I mean, luckily for me, James was the one doing the judging. I was on the sideline as a partner to discuss things with. Right? It's just, it makes it better when you judge, that you like having judging teams, because you can kind of bounce off. I'm looking at something. How do you feel? Same thing goes the other way around. So I'm lucky that James was the one to be lead judge, but I did agree with him. It's not like we were in the East and West. And I will say the standard was very high. It was not easy picking 1, 2, and 3, gold, silver, bronze. Not easy at all. And I will say borderline. It's almost 3 golds, or like 2 golds and a silver, or whatever. But I mean, we fortunately or unfortunately chose the format of gold, silver, and bronze. So now we have to.
Closed cup, baby. It's the only way.
Yeah. So we have to. But yeah, James said, I wish we could say these are the golds, these are the silvers, these are the whatever. So, but we had to. Yeah. And
so then our bronze winner.
Yeah.
Nightingale.
Nightingale. Yeah. I think this is. I mean, looking at the overall picture, having this one, let's say you took it to an actual competition, this piece would be something that immediately draws your eye, because it just looks really, really good, especially on at a distance, because it is such a complete work in terms of composition. Very nice work on this one. I will say it is kind of the MO by now for Night in Canter, right? Doing these, like the scenes are just powerful. He did the same with the orc. Very powerful scene. And you can clearly tell that it's a piece he did. So even though they aren't the same, they share like stylistic similarities. Very well done.
One of the things I think I haven't appreciated enough until I saw more of Nightingale's work is the sheer quality of the basing. Certainly from my perspective, it is a very hard skill basing, and he seems to do it effortlessly and beautifully each and every time.
Yeah, and I will say, I almost want to say that this format is perfect for him actually, because he likes to do like shorter projects, quote unquote, shorter projects, something you can get into, devote a lot of attention to, make a nice looking art piece, move on. Not be bogged down in tiny details, stressing for an entire month or whatever over all the subtleties. It's more a matter of I want to like having a vision, executing it. Yeah, absolutely. I really enjoy that.
Silver.
Yes,
we're getting there. Rudy.
Yeah, Rudy. I'm in love with this paint job. I think it is such a nice model. For me, doing this in a month is kind of crazy because I saw a lot of the steps. I saw it come from purple into blue, into greens, into mouth, into skin tones, into everything. Fantastic job on this one. And even though he didn't start out with like filling the scroll, people saying, dude, you better. And he did it because what he did on top looks 10,000 times better. So, Games Workshop, take note.
Hi, this Rudy guy.
Let Rudy unfold. Yeah, I think it is a really, really nice looking model. It really is. I really hope Rudy is proud of this one. He did so much in a month.
And this is, I think, easy to forget that this is coming off the back of Orcathon, where he had a fabulous entry for that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, just keep going, just into the next one. And yeah, I think this is just stunning. And actually get really like pumped when I look at it. I also think that because Rudy's now applying himself in terms of painting a model for Nova and kind of working that up to completion. And he is a painter who I often feel has just limitless potential, but who seems to be realizing it in leaps and bounds month by month. And this is not the direction I expected him to go after the Orcathon, but what an amazing surprise. It is stunning. And Rudy's good people. And I think he shows a lot of himself in the work he does. And this is not to say he's a weird Nurgle boy. This is someone
with a long mouth.
Yeah. He's a real gross boy that always is carrying scrolls around. But like I look at this and I can tell, he was trying to do something about color theory now, and he's really applied it and really cared about saturation and balancing those colors out. It's a stunning piece. It really is, and I hope Rudy's really happy with it.
I hope so too, and I'm lucky enough to see the like the competition piece for Nova as we work it through for improvements. And I just want to say, it's not easy improving like that on every model. It's not easy to take concrete feedback and just apply it. It's very, very hard, and I'm saying it almost every time we talk about it. But it's one of the skills I think is so highly commended, is taking feedback and applying it. It's not to say you take every feedback and just, I guess everything that is said is something I put on mine or whatever. It's just take whatever you think applies and is good for the model and apply it. And he does. Yeah. Fantastic paint job. Yeah.
Gold.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can stay basically in that vein, huh?
Sorry. Just keep talking about people that are great
No,
at taking feedback.
no.
Yeah.
No. There's no sorry, dude. Honestly, I think looking at these things, like the paint job, then the paint job after, then the paint job after. This is it's not because it has to be a long speech about how fantastic of a painter you're becoming. It's more a matter of there is actually a genuine consensus that it's not really a matter of how long have you been in the hobby. It is more a matter of, okay, so I really want to learn this. I really want to put the effort in. I want to read the theory. I want to seek the feedback, and I want to apply it. And I think this one really, really shows it. Going from Snickrod into Sepsimus into this one, and I'm even seeing your Terminator now. I think it is kind of laying down another piece of the puzzle, another piece of the puzzle, another piece of the puzzle. And I think you're at a point now where you're not rearranging much. It's not like you're, I don't think this, I need to, that piece doesn't really fit. I'm picking another one. It's more about laying more puzzle pieces. And I think this really shows it. Great attention to detail. I mean, I even found detail today that I hadn't seen before, and I've seen the pictures before. Yeah, I think it's something where the composition is great. The crispness and sharpness is immaculate, and I think it is minor tweaks to this one to take it to real competition. Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to say that this is a real competition.
No, this is challenge.
This challenge, okay, fair enough. No, I get quite emotional because I often feel like an outsider surrounded by very, very good painters. And I think that's a big reason why I've tried to consistently push myself to hold conversations with them and to not feel like, that I'm the nail that's slightly sticking out, needs to be bashed down. And so it's only kind of once I got this paint job done, I could look back and try and honestly reflect. I had these real weaknesses on Sepsimus, something I wasn't happy with. How do I make that better? How do I not get into a comfort zone? We're just like, oh, this is good and it's good enough, therefore. And this ended up being a piece. Yeah, I really pushed myself on. I really applied myself so much that I burnt myself out on it because I was dealing with some other stuff. But then to come back to it in the fresh light of day, and to see it here after up against painters who I consider essentially real inspirations to me, is very meaningful, and it means a lot. And I will stop talking about it now, lest I cry on camera.
I will say though, it's not. I revealed this to you just before we went on here, just so it doesn't come like a complete surprise. Also, you are actually the one putting the slides together, so I couldn't really, trick you or anything.
Yeah, we have to teach you PowerPoint.
Yeah, so I obviously told you, and I know the first reaction was, "Is that even okay?" And I just want to say, yes, it is community. Obviously, you can't win a piece you judged yourself, but this is exactly what these challenges are about. It is about people involved, none of them feeling like the outsider. So yes, any piece can win. It is important to me. It is important that we don't make exceptions because, is that okay? Is that, I mean, if we had a big dollar prize, maybe it did feel a bit. But
what do you mean I'm not getting a big dollar prize? What is?
Oops. So it's more a matter of, yes, we do this as challenges within the community, and it's very important that it feels like community effort.
Yeah. That's very fair. Okay, well that's a wrap. That's
it is
on Enter the Chaos. if you've watched this, if you're interested in the challenge, we're currently. It sounds weird to say we're running a skin challenge. That sounds gross. We're running a challenge on human skin. If you'd like to take part, and we are shortly about to vote on the next challenge. So we need to get those options sorted, don't we, Manus?
Yeah, we do.
But for now,
so we can vote the next one.
Yes, just get that vote done. For now, we hope you've enjoyed this. If you're interested in more content like this, please like and subscribe on YouTube. It really helps us. We really appreciate it. But for now, get painting, get good, and get out of here. Goodbye.
Bye.